everyone. My name's Tori Mathis, Director of Communications for the City of Berkeley. And here today, I'm meeting with our Facilities Manager, Alex Brown, to talk about his role in the budgeting process for the City of Berkeley as we work through these upcoming months. How are you doing today, Alex?
Great, Tori. Thank you. How are you?
Good, very good. And I appreciate you taking the time today. So I know you are newer to the team, which we're so happy to have you here. I just kind of want to talk to you about, your time here since you've been here, and, give the community a little bit of background about you and what your role is in the city.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. As Tori mentioned, my name is Alex Brown. I'm the facilities director here at the City of Berkeley. I've been here for about a year and a half or so. And as this is a new position in the city, it has been a very, very busy and exciting year of improvements and maintenance on the 5 buildings that we have. My role primarily is to maintain the buildings, infrastructure, and anything really related to any city properties that we have. As I mentioned, it's a new role, so it's full of a lot of things that have been neglected over the past 30, 40, 50 years. So there's something new every day, but we're on the right track to get everything up and running properly and keep the city up and running.
Great. Yeah, no, thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. It is certainly a new role, and I think it's a very critical role given the circumstances and the age of our facilities. I know it's been a big initiative as directors work through their budget. You're kind of a critical piece there. So I would love to hear your insights and how you've been working with the directors as we build the city's budget. Again, I know you're kind of similar to myself as well as our technology director in the fact that, our service is more of an internal service to our department heads. And so can you share with me, what that process looks like for you, how that relationship dynamic works, and, what are your goals for the budget?
Absolutely. I don't really have a budget in the traditional sense like other departments do, but I do help advise all the other directors on their budgeting for the maintenance side of buildings, improvements, general maintenance, from carpet cleaning all the way up to new boilers and heating and cooling equipment. That being said, the major goal for me moving forward into this year and already in the process is going to be upgrading the entire HVAC system citywide. That's a major undertaking that's highly expensive but long overdue. Most of the equipment in the city is in the 15 to 20 year range, which means it's at the end of its life cycle.
Yeah.
We've been very fortunate to apply and be awarded some grant money both on a state level and a federal level, and that's going to cover, I would say, all of the project, if not 99% of the project moving forward, which will set us up for the next 20 years of energy efficient HVAC equipment, all the buildings, so you can keep up and running.
Great. And talk about it or at least I'd be curious to hear, from that grant money, which is huge and great, considering I know that that's not a cheap undertaking. I know we were talking the other day, didn't you say there were 5 HVAC systems at least in City Hall alone, just because of the puzzle piece that is the building? Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. A good example is City Hall. There are 4 different rooftop units and a few independent units that run just to heat and cool this building. The way that the building was constructed, multiple phases, it's kind of been pieced together, and we're going to simplify that and make it a lot more cohesive of a system that's going to keep the building properly maintained temperature-wise, heating and cooling, and also going to save a lot of money and energy towards our green goals as well.
Great. Well, thank you for that example. So, I know I was a part of your interview, so, for transparency purposes, when you were hired, but now that you've been here for a little bit, can you share with me, what you have learned as one of our newcomers on the team on, why these goals and initiatives are valuable to the community as well as the city as a whole, and those conversations that you have with department heads as they put their budget together, and ensuring that there are line items for proper maintenance and management of their buildings.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The importance of keeping these buildings up and running is doesn't need to be overblown, but it is a very, very big part. I mean, most of these buildings are public facing buildings where we service the public. We have public programming. Obviously our public safety building is a huge part of the city and needs to be up and running 24/7, 365. What I've learned is in the time I've been here, there's a lot of things that have been kind of neglected, and a lot of things that we've already repaired in the year or so I've been here. And there's a lot of things that need to be done to get us to a better place where things are more in a maintenance mode, where if we just keep up with them and keep them running properly, we'll have a nice long maintenance, problem-free life cycle on a lot of this equipment. I know I keep circling back to the HVAC stuff, but that's really the biggest thing on my plate facing for the city. Is that's the biggest project, but it's a problem that we have at every single facility. That the equipment's old, the equipment's dated. We're spending a lot on repairs and upkeep when, because it's old equipment. So there's a lot of repairs and a lot of emergency repairs, and that's just really, that hurts the budget in the long run because we're not prepared for that due to the length of time the equipment has been around. So I mean, there's a lot of things that pop up just out of nowhere that end up costing thousands of dollars. So
Gotcha.
We're really trying to get things on the right track and eliminate those unneeded repair costs.
Gotcha. So moving forward, now we're talking about the present, which I think is great. How are you working with directors in terms of planning for the future? Can you kind of give some insight into that process?
Yeah, we are in constant communication about what the buildings will need moving forward. If it's from LED light changing, or we've done the EV chargers at the library, and we're going to be installing more of those moving forward. Roofing schedules, kind of keeping the big budget items on a schedule so we know when a roof's ready to be repaired or replaced. So we're not spending thousands to repair it, but we're going to save and budget to replace it and have it fixed right and done right. I work with all the directors fairly closely on maintenance of just, again, basic things, painting, carpet cleaning, plumbing repairs, stuff like that. We build into their budgets just kind of based on the age and condition of the building. And those things are just kind of, a lot of those things are unavoidable things. They're just, they're old buildings and they need maintenance, but some of the bigger things I'm really trying to get ahead of and be prepared for replacement instead of spending money on repair after repair after repair.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you. Now, talking about where we're at today, kind of jumping back, obviously as the city, we're asking for a millage, and we want to get right up in front of it and talk about it. With this millage, I guess, can you talk about how you've been working with the team on, if the millage passes, what that looks like in terms of maintenance and management, or any initiatives that, if there's a specific building that you would like to capture something with now, if approved, and what does that look like if not approved? How does that change your approach to managing the maintenance and facilities that we have?
Yeah, I would say that with the millage upcoming and with the approval, we'll have a lot more opportunities to replace things instead of repair things. Kind of like I mentioned just a minute ago, there's a lot more opportunity to do things the right way, as I like to say, instead of kind of just duct taping it together, for lack of a better term, and just kind of waiting for it to break again. And working with each building, again, there's certain things that each department director is looking for. It's something as small as painting. Again, some of those things may have to hold off, that just the aesthetics of buildings, or automatic doors. I know at the community center are a big deal. That's one thing that I think may be in flux depending on which way the millage goes. And certain things like that, bigger projects will probably be on hold, or maybe just not be done for the foreseeable future. And that's kind of what the basics of what I'm doing is everyday maintenance stuff will still get done, but it might be done more as needed, more than being ahead of it, more
Gotcha.
repair than replace. Or I like to be proactive instead of reactive. So that's a big thing for me, is if we can keep things on the proactive side, we'll keep the buildings running without any kind of shutdowns or disturbances or anything like that.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much. Well, that's all I really have for today as far as our timing goes. Alex, I appreciate everything that you shared with me as well as the residents. For those of you watching, you can learn more about the Headley override that we're asking for on May 2nd at www.berkleymich.org/millage. And we will talk again. Thanks so much, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you.